Hello, and welcome to a triple unboxing. Well, it's one unboxing, but it's triple books from the Signed Page, which Signed Page is run by Shawn Speman out in Washington. It was a one-man show until like a week ago. Now it's a two-person show because he hired his first Signed Page employee, Sydney, who's helping to package the books. But Shawn also runs Grim Oak Press, so if you've seen any Grim Oak Press unboxings, I have several on the channel. You can check those out as well. They do their own original publications, whereas Signed Page does signed first editions. Well, not necessarily first editions. 9 times out of 10, they're first editions. Excuse me. Can't speak English this morning. Sometimes they do a couple older titles. Like they, oh my god. Talk much? I apologize on that. They're doing some Jade Lee, I think is her name. I'm not as familiar with her. Her third title in a trilogy is coming out, or just came out. They're doing signed first editions of that, and not necessarily first editions of the first 2 volumes, but they're getting those signed as well. They've also done some like Pierce Brown paperbacks. Anyways, I'm rambling. So we have 2 signed first trade editions, if you will, and we actually have a Grim Oak Press title as well, which is being released. Even though it's Grim Oak Press, it's being sold through the Signed Page. So, up first here, we have Slewfoot, A Tale of Bewitchery by Brom. Brom is a name. First of all the books come like individually packaged like this. It's exquisite. I've never received a dinged book from the Signed Page, or Grim Oak for that matter, except for ones that I bought that were purchase dinged. Because sometimes, you know, they buy a pallet of books, the pallet of books doesn't arrive in the best shape, and they'll list some of the dinged copies, which are usually signed, for cheaper. So that's always very exciting as well. But the new copies I've never received dinged. So Slewfoot, A Tale of Bewitchery by Brom. Nice little slim volume for Brom, which is nice. I've had his previous book, Lost Gods, which was a much thicker volume. I also have Krampus, because Krampus is always awesome. Holidays are coming up. If you want to read some Gerald Brom for yourself, check out Krampus. I'm telling you can't go wrong. He is an author and an illustrator. Like, this is going to feature, I think, 20 pieces of illustrations by him. And he's done a good number of illustrations for other publishers as well. Most recently, he did the illustrations for, was it volume 5 of the Elric series for Centipede Press? I don't collect the Elric series, so I don't know the names of the Elric series, so I apologize. But whatever the newest volume is, that's Brom. So Slewfoot by Brom. There was another pre-order bonus as well. There we go, Brom's signature across the top there. Or if you pre-ordered it through the publisher would send you a print, an art print. And I pre-ordered it and then totally forgot to submit the form. So, oh well. Anyways, this is about a small town in 1666 that is has a demon that gets summoned. And it deals with kind of a battle between, I think they called it the pagans and the Puritans, is how the description mentioned it. Yeah, you know, nice big text, nice kind of, it's not a square volume, but it's square-ish compared to other titles, because it gives you more room for artwork, like The Witch. So he's got some pieces here in the middle. Got The Witch, Slewfoot, there we go. Mamunafet, Sky, Samson. Beautiful art pieces. Creek, Forest. Fat fingers. Can't reach it. And Abatha, the main character, who communicates with Slewfoot the demon. And of course he's got his little kind of header pieces. His little logos before each chapter. But I'm looking forward to it. I liked Lost Gods, and as I said, I loved Krampus. So holiday season right around the corner, check out Krampus. You might even be able to buy a copy. I don't know if he sells any through his site. I don't think he does. Because I know on his site he was linking to the signed page for Slewfoot. But they do have copies still available of Slewfoot if you want a copy. They might even have dinged copies. I know there were a lot of books lately that unfortunately didn't quite get the good palette treatment when they arrived at the signed page. So he had to order new copies, get replacement copies. Up next, we have Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey, which is, one is Daniel Abraham. And I don't know who the second one is off the top of my head. I apologize. But we're going to find out when I get to the signatures, I suppose. This is the 10th anniversary edition, which on the back side of the dust jacket has the original dust jacket, devoid of artwork, which I'm totally fine with. Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank, that's who it was. Yeah, it's also this is the first of the Expanse series, which got turned into the Expanse series on Sci-Fi. I haven't watched it, or you might know them from the Subterranean Press titles, which are very hot items. Like those things will go crazy. I was unfamiliar with the title when Subterranean Press said they were going to release them. But I remember seeing the pre-order link for the first one, and I was like, I don't know the title. Man, kind of wish now that I had gotten on board that. But yeah, there's a bunch of Expanse series. Also some Expanse short fiction. This being the 10th anniversary edition. Nice painted edges there. But it is an epic space opera. I think George R. R. Martin in space. Except that this series has come further than George R. R. Martin has. Sad to say. Come on, Martin. Finish it up. But it's very cool. Very cool indeed. Looking forward to adding that there. I have a signed paperback of the first one. And I know I have none of the sub-press ones. But you know what? It's nice to add a nice trade edition to it as well. And finally, we have our Grim Oak book of the mix. This is Song of the Fellhammer by Shawn Speakman himself. As I said, Speakman runs the signed page. He's run it for 20 years. He also runs Grim Oak Press, which is one of the best publishers out there, small press publishers for fantasy titles. Beautiful artwork by Todd Lockwood here on the dust jacket. Let's take that dust jacket off and take a look. Oh, it is signed by Todd Lockwood. Oh my god, I think I got a matching number. I thought I had pre-ordered this a long time ago, and it turns out I never did. So Song of the Fellhammer, Shawn Speakman. There's a beautiful artwork by Todd Lockwood. And I said, you know what? I totally dropped the ball on this one. It's not leather-bound like a lot of the Grim Oak Press ones are. The Shawn Speakman ones, this is just cloth-bound, but a beautiful cloth-bound it is. Look at that. It's a fat volume. Shawn Speakman's been having a great year. He's got this one. He's got Antiquity Grey that's also published. But as I was saying, I asked for a matching number, not expecting it at all, but holy crap, I got a matching number! Shawn Speakman and Todd Lockwood right there. Beautiful, beautiful book. And it's got maps drawn by Speakman himself. He's a cartographer. And we got beautiful text throughout. Look at the spacing is nice. I don't believe there's any interior illustrations. It does not appear so. But that is quite all right. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I know he's got copies, they're trade edition copies, but they can be signed, of The Darkthorn, which was Speakman's debut novel, that you can purchase online as well. I believe copies of Song of the Fellhammer are still available. I've only previously read a small little sliver of a volume. It's a little chapbook that came with a couple other pre-orders from Grim Oak, I believe. And I think I ordered the... there was Geeks for Good did a campaign very recently, and I ordered an ARC bundle from that. I haven't received the ARC bundle yet, because, you know, it's a campaign, they're still fulfilling stuff. I believe I have an ARC of that coming, which isn't really an ARC at that point, but you know what? I am totally fine with adding that to my collection. Overall, 3 very excellent titles from the signed page. I said 2 are just trade editions of, mass market, not mass market trade, but, big trade editions, trade hardcovers. And 1 is a Grim Oak title, which is awesome. And it was quite a steal for the 3 of them, Signed page is an excellent avenue to go down if you want some signed fantasy books. For example, Child of Light, the new Terry Brooks title, which I got a shipping notification for, also coming from Signed Page, is available. So you can get a signed Terry Brooks novel. You got a couple other ones. Like every time Pierce Brown does a new novel, there's usually some signed editions of Pierce Brown titles on there. Brom, of course, James S.A. Corey, Patricia Briggs usually has her signed books available via the Signed Page. And they're all, with the exception of Fellhammer here, because I think that was just published price, they're all published price plus $5. So cover price plus $5 is how they do the pricing system. And I think that's very fair, especially to support a small bookstore, if you will. Even though it's a website, it's still a small bookstore. And to help support Shawn Speakman. And a lot of them, they offer personalizations, which is always very exciting as well. Naomi Novik, who Shawn Speakman is the webmaster for. He's also the webmaster for Terry Brooks, but Naomi Novik is also featured on the Signed Page as well. Lately, due to the pandemic, they've been doing signed dust jackets instead of signed books. So if the author's within driving distance, like Brom is, or presumably, this is just a tipped-in signature sheet, but Brom was actually signed the flat sign on the title page. If they're within driving distance, they will sign the physical book. But lately, due to the pandemic, if they're not within driving distance, they are signing the dust jacket, which is still very cool. It looks very nice. But anyways, check them out. Check out the Signed Page. Link in the description below. Check out Grim Oak Press. Link in the description below. And we will see you around next time.